All right, so we're on to our next panel discussion, which is the importance of insuring entry-level drivers. It's going to be a key topic. So the panel is going to be led by Scott Cobber with BFL Canada, leaders from NAL Insurance, Intact Insurance, as well as Gallagher Insurance. We'll candidly discuss the current landscape of insurance coverage in our industry, as well as the value of insuring new entry-level drivers entering the field.
We have a few question sets we want to talk about, and I'm going to let this expert panel dive into it. But the first question is talking about barriers of insurance for MELT drivers or newly licensed drivers. But I do want to set this up because I'm going to focus more on the private sector than the government insurance sector. And what you have in Ontario, Alberta, is you have three real categories when a fleet or a trucking company wants to add a driver on that's new. If you have 1 to 4 units, you're considered IRCA, individually rated commercial auto. You are not allowed to hire the driver without underwriting permission. They're probably not going to let you drive or hire a MELT driver or a newly licensed driver. Then you have scheduled fleets, 5 and up, say 5 to 20. You still probably need permission to hire a driver, and you're going to have a tough time getting a new driver approved. I'll let them go through that example. Then you have the larger fleets that do blanket fleet policies. They can hire whoever they want. Loss controllers come in, assess their operations, and said, yes, we like your mentoring finishing program. They have an advantage. They do not need that underwriting permission. So I just want to set that up as we get into this question. And Jamie, I'll start with you. What are the key barriers that prevent insurance companies from approving newly licensed drivers? Like, what are the challenges that exist?
So really the big challenges that we find in the industry is lack of infrastructure. So to your point, when we look at a blanket fleet, they have a proven track record with Intact, and I can only speak for Intact, but there's other markets out there. And that's kind of the beginning and end. If you want to bolt on more risk, you better get the basics right. And that's kind of the way most of our counterparts kind of look at it as well. If you're going to hire a new driver and you can't really get the basics down, why are we going to add more risk?
Unfortunately, probably the one things I've seen is when you start talking about IRCA versus fleet. The fleets are really good at hiring qualified drivers or training those drivers. The IRCA side, we fall under the aspect of we don't have the resources, so we need to do a better job at hiring qualified drivers. I think we've kind of heard today the MELT program is your entry level. So if I'm a small fleet of less than 5 power units, I want the best of the best to operate my equipment. Usually these guys are running better equipment. So I want to have the best of the best because, well, I don't necessarily have a trainer like Jamie who can come in and do the training. And I can't afford Jamie in the truck with Bob, you know. Maybe I can afford Glenn, but that's, you know, another story. Nonetheless, the problem lies in the fact we don't have the resources for the smaller fleets, so we need to set a higher bar. It's going to make it better for everybody. And then when your Intechs walk in, they're going to go, wow, I like what you got going on. You've got more than the basics.
Glenn, I'm going to turn this next question over to you, and this has been talked about a bit, and I'll make it very simple. Could establishing a Red Seal designated trade help improve the insurability of new drivers? Open-ended question, but I'll leave it to you.
100%. You know, right now we see the schools it's right across the country, but we've had issues in Ontario. I think it was 180 licenses that have been suspended now based on the schools not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what, we used to go fishing up in Meadow Lake, and it was like 6 hours north of Timmins. Every year we went up there, Highway 11, there was always a truck accident. The last year we went, we are in our pickups, my buddy ahead of me, and he pulls over. Next thing you know, we pull over. There's hardly any shoulder. Truck comes right down our lane. So we now choose to fish locally.